since I made a video on the netcode, I also wanted to make one to show how the matchmaking is done in SF5. I'm doing this by using the geofilter with the NetDuma router, the Duma OS. So what I'm going to do is, here, let me show you first. This is the geofilter. It shows my location in Las Vegas, and it shows the server for SF5. You can ignore this. This is Steam. So if I go into Street Fighter V and I turn on fight request, let's just do casual because we don't want to bug people in ranked matches, and I put, let's say, 5-bar connection and do ask. If I go back to the NetDuma, you'll start to see it ping individual players through the server. Sometimes this takes a while. This is the main, I think this is the central server that SF5 is using to communicate with everybody that's connected around the world, but this is the main server that you're logged into. I did also test this on SF4, and the SF4 server seems to be way more responsive. I get way more pings, and it seems to also be region locked. So if you're in the US, it only pings people in the US, and you don't waste time pinging people from all over the world or looking at people from the other world. I'm partly thinking that's why it's so slow to ping people, because while it pings like this, it may contact the server and then show a list of 15 people. Of those 15 people, none of them are even in your region. So if you have a 5-bar filter, it just ignores them, and then it has to wait for another list of 15 to load. So it takes a really long time. I may have to edit this out because it's okay. So we finally got a person being pinged here. Now it's going to determine if it's even the proper rank and if we can play. So if I see, it hasn't even showed up in SF5 yet. Okay, I'm going to edit this until we find somebody.
One eternity later.
Get ready for action.
Okay, so it looks like I finally got a match. It appears to be someone that's in Washington. You can see here that it's coming up. I'm not going to accept it, but I went ahead and pinged this player, and it was about 70 milliseconds. Too bad I wanted to show you the actual bars to show you that it is a 5-bar connection. So the game does somewhat try to keep you within that 5-bar filter range, but it does take a super long time to get a match. I mean, you can see when I started this, it was like 8:53 or something. I waited 10 minutes to get one match to pop up here just so I could show you. So the 5-bar filtering is working. It's just really slow to find matches because it seems to be pulling only a list of players from the entire players in the world, and then it's looking to see if you're within the 5-bar filter, and then also looking to see if you're within the proper rank, and then it allows you to connect. This process is very slow, and definitely much slower than it is playing on the SF4. Now I want to go ahead and show you what happens with Battle Lounge. So I go into Battle Lounge and I do search for a lounge, and I just keep everything default. And I hit search. You'll see that it brings up a list, you know, of about 15 different people. And if I go back to the geo filter, I'm not really seeing anybody because it's actually pinging people from all over the world, because the Battle Lounge literally has no region filter whatsoever. It doesn't even take into account any sort of filtering in the 5-bar or whatever. It just puts a bucket in of 15 people based upon time of creation or by a rank or number of players. None of this stuff helps us with filtering out matches so that we can get people that we can actually play with. The biggest thing I think they could do is definitely add a region filter for battle lounges so that we can see a list of people that are in our area and select them. This is sort of how SF4 works, where they just sent the people to us that were within our range or fit our criteria of the same skill, more skilled, in the same region, and it made matchmaking significantly faster than it is for SF5. Just to give you an idea of how much faster matchmaking is with SF5 versus SF4. So I have Ultra Street Fighter 4 here, and this is on the PC. Currently, there's about a tenth of the amount of users on Ultra Street Fighter 4 over Street Fighter 5. So technically, you would have less matchmaking, but it's still faster than it is with Street Fighter 5. I waited a good 10 minutes to get a match in Street Fighter 5, whereas here I can do rank match, custom match, same region, and run a scan, and you see immediately I already have 2 people that I can look at. Now, I mean, the connections aren't great. There's still 3 bars, but I can find people instantly and decide as a user if I want to use it or not. I mean, if I put any region, technically I should get more people, but you get the idea. I can go into endless battle and do the same thing. Sometimes, you know, I mean, there's only 100 people, so there might not be any lobbies open. I can go into arcade and turn on, I'll just put any, just to make it easier to find somebody, but let's do fight request on. Okay, so everything's there.
The craziest and wildest fighters have assembled from around the world to join the fight.
Let's go into a match real quick. I think the interesting thing too about Street Fighter 4 is it seems to be able to match even when it's in between menus, where Street Fighter 5 you had like a set, it could only activate a match when it was during the game, and then if it was switching menus or whatever, it stops searching. I mean, look at this. Immediately, I haven't even started the arcade yet, and I'm already connected to somebody else. I'm gonna go back to arcade mode, and that was a that was a full bar connection. Boom! Immediately. I mean, it's crazy. Like another one. I don't understand. Like, this kind of drives me crazy because they obviously know how to make matchmaking work. But all of a sudden, you know, whatever they do with SF5, where how it functions, we can't match as quickly as possible. We should be able to just pick the people, you know, from a list of people that are in our region and be ready to go. We shouldn't be waiting 10, 15 minutes. This is so funny in comparison. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Oh, it's the same guy, but it just goes to show how quick it is. It's nuts. Anyway, I hope you understand. You know, this video shows what I'm talking about. SF5 matchmaking definitely is not as good as SF4. So hopefully they can make some changes to this, as well as when they're doing the netcode, so that we could finally get a good, great online experience.